Welcome to the PHNX Coyotes podcast, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download today using code PHNX, and new customers who bet just $1 on either team to score in an NBA game this week and win $100 in free bets. Is another pack therapy session.
Wow. I don't even know. I thought there were moments in this game, Leah, that I actually thought the Coyotes might win. And we,
Tell me about it.
We talked about Wedgwood a lot. We talked about Wedgwood. When's he going to start? When's he going to start? He was outstanding tonight. Like, breakaways by, I don't know, 2 or 3 breakaways by Kirby Dach. He had Kane on a breakaway. He was solid. He was steady. He looked really good. He was the difference. He held a minute. Unfortunate that they make the refs miss that call on the delayed penalty. I mean, that's literally the difference in the game. So that's too bad that it comes down to that. But unfortunately, those are the breaks sometimes.
I know. And let's just start there, because I think, like you said, that was the turning point of the game. For those who maybe didn't see what happened there, can you explain? And I actually took a screenshot of your tweet where you circled the thing. So here it is.
Yeah, and I know it's not a great picture, but the Capobianco sticks in there. He touches the puck. There's a delayed penalty on right now. As soon as the Arizona Coyotes touch the puck, the whistle is supposed to blow, and the Coyotes go to the penalty box and Chicago on the power play. Unfortunately, wherever the ref was standing here, he couldn't tell or couldn't see that Capobianco's stick clearly touched the puck to clear the puck out of the way of Wedgwood, and the whistle did not blow. Wedgwood at that point, if you watch him the remainder of that clip, I think the announcers were thinking that he was upset that he got pushed or bumped. The reality was he wanted the whistle to go. Puck goes all the way down to the other end. He's upset. Whistle should have blown. They come back, and on the 2-on-2, and DeBrincat scores. Unfortunately, the next step makes it even worse. Is the Coyotes coaching staff decides to challenge.
Is that even something you can challenge?
No, and you can't. You can challenge a missed whistle, but it's only on 3 specific instances. It's if the puck clears and hits the netting behind the net and clears the glass. 2, if there was a high sticking play where a player plays it above his shoulders and his teammate touches the puck. So if Chicago would have high sticked it, they touch it. That's a missed whistle. The 3rd is a hand pass in the offensive zone. All 3 of those instances should have created a whistle stoppage. That's not what happened here. So 1, it's not challengeable because of rule definition. And unfortunately, as the officials, Jackson explained later, once the puck clears the blue line, all of that doesn't matter. It's all washed clean anyway. Even if it would have been off the netting or a hand pass or off the stick, once it clears the blue line, it doesn't matter. So they shouldn't have made that call. What happens, luckily they didn't get scored on that power play, but what happens on the bench in a situation like that, like there's a lot of emotion going on. And you watched Wedgwood's reaction after that goal. He's jumping up and down. He's screaming. The coaches are going, okay, what's he upset about? So now the message is, the coach has a bunch of voices in his ear going, okay, they should have blown the whistle. Well, all he's thinking at that moment is, my goalie's upset. There should have been a whistle. I can challenge for a missed whistle, which he can under the instances we described. So at that point, he's thinking he can challenge. He can't. It's wrong. They get a penalty, and they sit in the box, and the goal stands. So it's unfortunate that the ref missed that call. It was a bad call. Blew it. He blew the call. We should have blown that dead. Does that guarantee the Coyotes a win? Clearly not. I mean,
No.
then they would have been in the penalty box. They would have had to kill another penalty, and who knows the outcome of the game. It's just unfortunate that it had to end like that. I don't want to say as well as they played, because, I mean, Chicago had the better of the scoring chances the entire game. The breakaways, the power plays. I thought Chicago was the better team, and be honest, they weren't very good.
Yeah. God.
The Blackhawks weren't the team I thought they were going to be. I expected Kirby Dach to be better. I expected Kane to be better. They weren't impressive. I barely noticed Seth Jones. It's a team we talked about being a playoff team beginning of the season. I just don't see it.
I know. And it does, suck for fans, because, you look at the games that are winnable. So that game against Seattle that the Coyotes did win, that was a winnable game. And we saw them obviously have success. And then they played Minnesota, and it just was night and day in terms of the skill level of both teams. So it's like, okay, a team like Minnesota, maybe that's not a team that the Coyotes can beat, but a team like the Blackhawks, given where they are in the standings, is the battle of the two teams at the bottom of the Central Division. These are the games that you can look at as a Coyotes fan this year and say, okay, there's a chance to win here. And it wasn't a blowout or anything like that, but at the same time, it's like, really? And I guess the one good thing you can say is that on the penalty that came from the challenge failing, at least the Blackhawks didn't score, because that would have been just a
and one of the other things,
wound.
though, Leah, I don't think we can stress this enough. Like, Scott Wedgwood played exceptional in this game, and if not for a few saves early, we're looking at some of the other games that we've seen over the last 2 or 3 weeks. If they get down by 2 or 3 early, I don't know if they get the same offensive push that we saw up to the last minute. And honestly, Phil Kessel has a chance with 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock. So I still think Wedgwood's the difference. But now, can he sustain this for an entire season? Who knows? I mean, he hasn't proven that he could during his career, that he can put that many games together in the National Hockey League. So I'm not being hopeful of that. I'm just saying, ride the wave while you can. And that's, it's great. So but will we see Scott Wedgwood tomorrow in Nashville? Highly unlikely. Like, you're going to see Karel Vejmelka, I would assume, tomorrow night. Wedgwood had a lot of work. I know. You'd assume he had a lot of work. He had a lot of work, and I think he needs the break. I don't want him to get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's another positive you can take, that Wedgwood did have a good performance tonight. He faced 29 shots, saved 27, so .931 save percentage, which is great. That's what you want from your goaltender. And like we said, it's if the goalie gives the team the chance to win, then the team has to do the rest. And again, it comes down to the lack of offense from this team. So it is unfortunate. Like I said, this was a winnable game, I think, for the Coyotes. So
it's going to be interesting though, Leah. Hutton's on the trip, right? Craig's touring his. Well, I can't say what Craig's doing.
We'll let Craig tell when he comes
I better not
on.
give it away. He's doing got to write a story.
By the way, he's not in Chicago. He's in Nashville. He's just said, I'm skipping Chicago. He's in Nashville, and he was doing an activity all day, which we'll let him explain when he comes on. He is doing the Postgame Pressers remote tonight. So he's doing our show remote and the Postgame Pressers remote. So we'll let him explain.
Sits in Nashville.
Well, he's in Nashville.
Leah, have you been to Nashville?
I haven't. Well, you obviously have.
Yeah, you can get in a lot of trouble in Nashville. I don't think Craig Morgan's getting in a lot of trouble.
He sent us a picture of a package of Nutter Butters. So if that's trouble for Craig Morgan,
that honestly might be Craig Morgan trouble, which is good. That's good. But you look at a lot of comments, and I'm looking at comments about the goaltending, and it's going to be interesting because we talked about Carter Hutton. He's on the trip. He's practicing with the team. What in the hell is going to happen when he comes back? Where does Carter Hutton fit into this whole picture now? I can't believe we have a goaltender controversy with the last place team in the National Hockey League. They have one win, and we got a goalie controversy. It's amazing to me. I don't know what you do. How do you let Wedgwood go? Like, if you put him on waivers, he'll get claimed, I would think. Even Jersey can claim him back.
Not, like, what's he gonna do in Tucson?
Yeah, well, exactly. I don't see the fit there because you got to play Prosvetov. It just doesn't make any sense. And again, it goes back to, why did they get him in the first place? Well, I think we talked about Dubnyk. Could they fill a hole in the back end? They needed something else. Carter Hutton wasn't able to pull the weight when he did play, and then he gets hurt. So I don't mind getting the goalie. It's now what have you created by doing this? I honestly don't know. And I think I'm expecting Karel Vejmelka to play better now. I think, maybe he was getting tired. It was too many games in a row. I think he's had a few days of rest now. I expect a better game. I hope to see the Vejmelka that we saw early in the season, where he was steady and square and not so busy and sliding around as much. So that's what I hope to see tomorrow night in Nashville. And trust me, Nashville's a better team than Chicago is. They're going to need solid goaltending tomorrow. they're going to have to find their legs. I didn't think they were incredibly quick tonight. I didn't think their transition game was there. I didn't see any speed out of the other than Kraus, which was a broken record for us. His effort was clearly there. They're going to have to find another gear tomorrow. They're going to have to be faster.
I know. I mean, somebody said here maybe they should just carry 3 goalies. I don't know if you can.
You can.
You can?
You can have 23 players on your roster.
Okay, so it would just be they'd have to sacrifice another position somewhere.
That is correct. So you can. Most teams don't because it's a financial thing. You have to pay all of them in an NHL salary. So very unlikely that they would carry 3. You could do it for a short period of time. I know recently they'd have Ranta, Hill, and Kemper prior to the COVID year where you always had 3. But prior to that, they did have 3 at times, especially when a guy's coming off injury. So in Hutton's coming back from his injury, I wouldn't be surprised if they kept 3 for a few games just to make sure that Carter Hutton is healthy and can continue to play.
Well, there wasn't much offense in this game, but the one piece of offense did come from Andrew Ladd in a game against his former team, one of his former teams. And, we thought Wedgwood played really well, but we thought we'd mix it up a little bit tonight. So we had Andrew Ladd as our DraftKings king of the game. 1 goal, 14:08 time on ice. I mean, there wasn't really much stats to pull from this game. Nothing too impressive overall, but
Yeah, and we should have we should keep tally, Leah, on who you should get a point for every time you're the king of the game. And then we should keep a scoreboard on who, because that's Ladd's second time, I believe.
I think it is. We've had Gossesbear twice. We've had Ladd twice. We've had Vemilka multiple times.
Yeah. We should start keeping track.
It is interesting.
Somebody's going to have to do work then.
Interesting
so I know Shane's out.
Interesting to see who's trending, because I remember there was a stretch where it was Keller a lot, and now it's like Keller hasn't even been in contention for a while. So just interesting to see how that all ebbs and flows too.
A lot of comments on Keller tonight during the game in the Discord about his lack of offenses and his same thing we've talked about with him over and over again, his inability to get to the net to create scoring opportunities. If he's not getting shots from the outside on the power play, he's not generating offense. And it's something that's been a problem for him.
Chris says you're the king of every game, Petey.
I'm pretty sure Shane did. Shane type that?
No, Shane's not in the room. I'm
seriously. Shane's not there.
No, he's not there. I'm producing.
Wow,
he was.
You're doing all the heavy lifting. And by the way, why are you in studio? You make me feel guilty.
So I'm in studio because there were a lot of shows tonight, and for those who don't know, I'm also a producer here at PHNX. So I was producing the Cardinals show tonight. I actually watched the first period while producing their show. And at that point, I just didn't want to drive home. So, did you just crack something open?
I did. I forgot.
Okay. Well, this is actually a perfect time for me to say. So there are some awesome people at Grand Canyon Brewing.
And when you get back to Leah, just get back to Will's comment after that. Will Lane.
Okay,
Sorry.
We'll come back. We'll talk
Sorry,
about
Leah.
this. So Kevin from Grand Canyon Brewing, fan of the program, he sent us a care package. Okay, and today we got 2 boxes full of beer from Grand Canyon Brewing, and right here, I have the Prickly Pear Wheat Ale. Grand Canyon Brewing, and I've never had it before, and I'm super excited. I put all of our beers in the fridge. I put a giant note: please do not drink, because in this office it is fair game. If there is beer in the fridge, you may never see it again. But this beer, we want to enjoy, the Coyotes crew. There's a growler just for Craig. If anyone touches that, they're over. So thank you again to Grand Canyon Brewing Company for this amazing care package. Woo!
Thanks, Kevin.
I'm gonna try this.
This is stunning radio right now. So the audio only. This is the SMR is killer. Look at that. See, and then
Very good.
Now how does this happen when I'm not in studio, Leah?
I thought that because we both see, maybe if I was home, the Coyotes would have won, because the one time the Coyotes won was when you and I did a post game, both from our houses. It was a close game. You're at home, I'm in the studio. It was close, but I wonder if I was home, if
Maybe that was the difference. So maybe we can blame you. Part of the post-game media.
We'll blame me. So
you know what? I don't want to be hard on this team. They've got one win through. Is that 13 tonight? Was that the 13th game?
That was the 14th game.
14th. I mean, I don't want to be harsh, but that wasn't a very exciting hockey game. Like for the score, what the score was more exciting. It just wasn't the pace, and I didn't feel like the games when they were out east, not Eastern swing with Carolina, Florida, that they were playing faster. Like it was a faster game. I just had this feeling tonight that there was no pace to this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was. Yeah,
it just didn't seem like I know there were a few breakaways for Chicago, but even Chicago didn't seem like they had their, flip the channel and watch one of the other games that was around the league tonight. And you're just like, oh my gosh, same league? Like there's just so much more speed in the other games. I don't know. Maybe bad ice. I really don't know, but they're going to have to find their legs the rest of this trip. Because if they play like this, tomorrow will be difficult. But they play like this in St. Louis. Boy, that's a big, heavy, fast team that does a lot of things right. The good news is you'd figure if the goaltending, they'll go Corral tomorrow, and hopefully he gets back to where he was a few weeks ago, and then you flip a coin to see who plays on Tuesday. Thanks,
I know.
Karen.
Someone said to feel better, I think I'm going to go back to an old show just to listen to Petey's Manscaped reads.
I'm protesting right now. I haven't trimmed my beard since the Manscaped read stopped. I know you can't tell yet, but it's time. I'm starting to feel really old, so I'm debating on when I'm going to trim my beard next.
Someone also said PD 2024.
Oh.
And
Zachary's got the Where's Waldo. I looked for that for Halloween this year. I wanted the Where's Waldo. Couldn't find it.
Okay, Karen came in, said, rebuild reminder. This is a great time. And this is why we came up with this button, okay? Because Erin is not here, but she is here. So.
Rebuild reminder.
See? Fantastic.
There it is.
Fantastic.
Let's do it one more time with the graphic.
Rebuild reminder.
It's so good.
I don't understand this whole Craig thing. So Craig gets back to his hotel so he can be on the show, and then he's not on the show. I don't get it.
I don't know.
I just don't understand.
He did text us. He said, Gally and Capo are done, just waiting on Andre. We didn't talk about the fact that Galchenyuk and Capobianco there he is. That Galchenyuk and Capobianco made their season debuts tonight. So
and you know what? I guess earlier in the Discord I was talking about, that hopefully this can help add to their offense. I mean, realistically, neither one of those guys have played the entire season. You can't expect them to contribute offensively or be a part of the game. You just want to get them through the game without getting re-injured, and you want them just get their feet underneath them, get some minutes and not cause any serious problems the other way. And I think they both got through and did that. I don't think Galchenyuk didn't wow me.
Capo had an assist on the lad goal.
I thought of the two, he played better. I think he had played tougher minutes. Gally, I think it's probably going to take him a while, to ease back into this lineup because of the kind of player he is. I mean, he's an offensive, quick, speedy player, and it's going to take him a few games to get that going.
For sure. All right, let's bring in Craig. Craig calls. What's the song? Craig calls.
Craig calls. It's Craig.
It's Craig. Craig.
There he is.
Greetings from Nashville.
Hello.
Is that the crowd in the back at Tootsie's? But I swear, if I was there,
you can see my kitchenette back here.
Look at that.
I have to say, Craig, I probably would be at Tootsie's if I was there. So good on you for making it back home.
I went to another good place tonight, Petey.
So we didn't give it away.
We didn't give it away. We were going to allow you to tell the people what you were.
Or not tell. Are you not telling?
No, I can tell them now. I went to Love and Exile Winery tonight. It's an urban winery in which Carter Hutton is a business partner. I spoke to his business partner at length. It lasted a lot longer than I thought it would tonight. And let's just say we sampled a lot of the products. It was a good night.
Well, that's good reporting, right, Craig?
Yeah, that's right. I felt obligated to do it. Yes.
If you're going to write the story, but Craig, I would try to usually at this point of the show, I give you a recap of what we talked about, but we really haven't talked about much. We spent some time talking about the official missing the touch and not blowing his whistle the subsequent goal, subsequent challenge, fail challenge. And really, I thought the overall game, I thought it was maybe slow. Like it wasn't a lot there. So I'm curious to see what you got from the post games.
Yeah, Andre Tourigny wasn't all that impressed. He thought they were sort of disjointed tonight. We talked a little bit about what the guys that came into the lineup tonight gave him in Capobianco and Alex Galchenyuk. Capobianco had an assist, but as he said himself, I didn't really do much. Andrew Ladd did all the work on that. So it's one of those where you give the puck to a guy and he does all the work and scores. I thought Capo was actually okay tonight. I was wondering what either of them would be able to bring, because they haven't had a lot of practice time with the team. Capobianco's been out a really long time. So is Galchenyuk, actually. And I asked Andre if he has hesitated to even put them in the lineup with so little practice time. He said there was discussion about it, but when you look at their schedule, and this is classic of the NHL, is like, if we wait for them to get 3-4 practices, we may have to wait a month because the schedule is just so insane. So, it was part of the discussion, but we figure we throw them in because it's just not going to get any better anytime soon. I didn't think either one of them hurt them tonight. I'll say that.
And that's exactly what we said. You got to get through the game without them hurting you. The other question, though, and you talked about Carter Hutton already, he's on the trip. Do they anticipate him getting a chance to play, or is he just practicing, or where is he at? Do you know?
I don't think he's quite ready yet. I'm wondering about this one, Petey, actually. I'm wondering if Carter Hutton is fully healthy, even from that ankle surgery that he had in the offseason. I'm not sure this guy is right now, and he may be forcing it a little bit just to get this opportunity. It's probably something that they're discussing right now, but I'm not sure he's fully healthy. It may be a situation where he wants to try and get back for the team, but we'll see how this goes.
Did you get a chance to ask the head coach about the challenge?
Yeah, we did ask about it, and he basically said the same thing you did. Look, you know what the rule is. You guys already explained that. It's just it was missed initially, and then once it leaves the zone, you can't challenge the play anymore.
Yeah, so he knew that. It's just emotions, and that clearly takes over. And I know we're sitting at home watching on TV on a couch, and our emotions aren't the same as they are in a packed United Center with everybody yelling and screaming. It's much different. It's much more difficult. You're frustrated. You're angry that there was no call. Is that Shane?
Shane is back.
I see hands.
Oh,
he's back.
Work.
Okay,
Hey,
Shane. Craig. I'm drinking my Grand Canyon Brewing Prickly Pear Wheat Ale.
Yeah, from
and
Kevin.
Somebody in the chat really wants to make sure that I don't forget to let you know that the growler is here full of Hefeweizen, which I know you're stoked about.
And whose growler is that?
That is Craig's.
My growler.
Craig, and I already said I put a giant note in the fridge. Do not drink.
Oh yeah, that'll stop the people on our staff.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Exactly. They'll do the opposite.
You might as well just put "drink me" on it.
We need to bring in our
studios.
own cooler with a padlock or something. Also, Erin's in the chat. Miss you guys. We miss you too, Erin.
Is Erin on the road right now?
She's in Minnesota.
She went back to Minnie. Do you know it's a big snowstorm in Minnie?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
2 feet.
That's right.
Up in Bemidji, my hometown. 2 feet this weekend.
You just
Bemidji,
like
Minnesota.
That word, don't you?
I do, and the Beavers are coming into town next weekend. Bemidji State Beavers coming in to face your ASU Sun Devils at Oceanside Arena.
ASU dropped a tough one tonight. ASU played well at Quinnipiac.
Yeah, they scored 2 goals in the first period. First team to score twice against
Quinnipiac.
Yeah. I could not pronounce it. Quinnipiac
Craig,
in the first period.
Leah, do we know what I probably should know this, but I don't. What is the Coyote schedule next weekend?
Next weekend?
Friday, Saturday, do we know?
Well, it's
I'll pull it up right now.
You can pull it up, yeah. Can we smear that growler, by the way, with some sort of like drug? So like people touch it, they just pass out.
Oh my god!
Did I say that? Oh, God.
Moderately aggressive.
I guess we're live here. Yeah.
Craig, when you're on the road, so it's a free for all.
That's right. I'll just dust it for fingerprints.
Yeah, little do we know he's got an Uber out front right now of his Airbnb heading back down to Legends and Tootsie's in the stage.
All right, coming up next week. So St. Louis Tuesday, Columbus at home Thursday, Detroit at home Saturday, LA on the road
Friday night.
Sunday.
So Friday night, Craig, are we going to watch the Beavers and ASU on Friday?
We should.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Have you been in that press box?
Yes, I have.
No, I have been. I was in that press box one time for like 2 minutes, and I got kicked out because I was a U of A employee.
Wow. Okay.
See if
that
you can
was
get us
for
up there, Craig.
ACHA. That was for an ACHA game, but
Wow.
That's a crazy press box. It's bizarre. It's right
It
over
is.
the team benches. It
So-
moves.
Yeah.
You can hear
I'm not-
everything that's coming
not
out
a
from the
fan
benches.
of it.
And I do mean everything. Yeah. Well, it's not going to matter for much longer when they move into the swanky new arena. But it's a cool vibe there. Yeah, Petey, we should definitely go.
Yeah, and Leah's
look at
welcome
this.
too, but she's probably got to work. Andrew,
Look at
and I
this.
know Andrew
says Detroit's the possible win. Andrew thinks that the Coyotes could win because he already said earlier that he put $100 on the Predators tomorrow on draft.
Andrew is moderately
Wow.
pessimistic, and I will say this: as Leah gets ready to get prepared for her DraftKings Sportsbook app read,
so well.
if those of you that follow sports gambling know that the game tonight was Chicago -1.5, which means they need to win by 2. So when they shoot at an empty net with 3 seconds to go and miss, it affects a lot of people. That's all I'll say, Craig.
Are you one of those people, Petey?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say that makes a big difference if that puck goes in or not to some people. And I would guess Andrew is one of them.
Well, yeah, it's so funny because the Suns post-game show here at PHNX had just gotten out right when the Coyotes game was ending, and Saul and Espo were watching it with me, and you saw the Blackhawks player missed the empty net right at the end, and the first thing Espo said was, "Oh, that sucks for the puck line bettors." So, man, but just goes to show there's a ton of stuff on the DraftKings Sportsbook app that you can bet on, and this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, if you bet just $1 on either team to score in an NBA game, which that's a given, you can win $100 in free bets. DraftKings is safe and secure and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Super easy to use. Petey's a big fan. Shane, who just covered the camera with his beer, he's a big fan, host of our daily bet show 5 days a week. So be sure to check out the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up using that code PHNX. Bet $1 on either team in an NBA game to score, and you'll win $100 in free bets. That's 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
Yeah, and Leah, I'm just going through the comments, and there's 2 comments right in a row talking about Galchenyuk's line mates and where he was in the lineup. The reality is it's his first game of the season. He's got to work his way into more minutes. He's not ready to keep up the pace with Keller and Krause. He's not there yet. He's got to give him a couple games to play, get the feel out of his hands back, get that game speed back, and he'll clearly move up the lineup. It just wasn't going to be tonight.
For sure. Craig, were you surprised to see Galchenyuk and Capobianco back tonight, or were you kind of expecting that?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say either. It wasn't a surprise. I knew they were working their way back. I figured it would happen soon. I just didn't know if they would want to get them in more practices. But as I said earlier, Andre sort of explained that the NHL schedule just does not allow you a lot of practice time. And this is a point that I emphasize over and over with fans who want to see some of the prospects up there. Let them come up to the NHL and, learn the game up here. The problem with the NHL schedule is that you don't have those set days for practice. You don't have the video time. You don't have the off ice time. The NHL is not a developmental league. And this is what we mean when we say that. There simply is no time to focus on much else other than the games and winning. In the AHL, you have all that structured time where you can work on different parts of somebody's game and help them come along. You just can't do that here. So when people say they want to see the prospects up here, just bring them up. I'd rather see them than some of the people they have in the lineup. No, you need to develop those guys. You need to bring their games along and make sure that when they arrive in the NHL, they're actually ready to play in the NHL.
Definitely. Well, one thing we didn't do yet was pull up Petey's keys that we released earlier today. Let's see how the Coyotes did.
Here's the problem with the keys to the game. They're 2 words, but they're like, I need to talk 5 minutes on each key when I send it out on Twitter. Because when I talk about containing Kane, he did get 2 points tonight, but that's not what I meant. There's 2 things that Kane does. he does what we call climbing the wall. I sent a tweet on it later where he climbs up from the corner and he climbs up towards the defenseman, gets to the top of the circle, and he has 3 or 4 options. He's incredibly dangerous from there. You have to stop him from that spot and when he winds it up through the neutral zone. That's where you had to stop Kane, and they did that. Take advantage of Jones. He's up in the play more. He's down around the net. You can turn it and go the other way and get odd man rushes. Jones wasn't a factor tonight. So they eliminated that. So they did both of those things. And Wedgie, clearly with his, 4 or 5 breakaways, either he forced him to miss the net, 1 post, but he played outstanding. I have to say, I have to give the Coyotes a passing grade on all 3 keys to the game. It really came down to an unfortunate whistle call by the linesman that makes the difference in the game.
Yeah. What has happened to Seth Jones, by the way? I don't. 2 years ago, I thought he was just skyrocketing towards stardom, and now,
Craig, I don't know. Like I saw him play early in the year. I saw Chicago play one of their second or third games of the year, and he was noticeable. Like he skated well. He was up on every rush. He carried the game, and tonight, honestly, barely noticed him tonight.
I agree.
So I don't know. This is going to sound preaching. I don't know if the black cloud around this organization right now has lifted yet. And it's a hard place to play, practice, be around, talk to the media around, and say what you want. That makes a difference on how you play on the ice. There's so many things away from the ice that are causing problems on the ice. I don't know. The change in coach and GM and all of these changes, can they get past it and through it? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe not, though.
It's an issue for this team for sure. But with Seth Jones in particular, he wasn't even that good last year. I don't know what has happened to his game, and they gave him a lot of money, which looks like. Does anybody have the cowbell?
Oh,
yes, I brought it home with me.
Because I know you love the cowbell.
Running.
Yeah, I bring the cowbell home with me on the weekends.
Petey has like a nervous tick from the
Can't
cowbell.
stand. That thing's crazy. How did that end up missing last time? Did Luke hide it?
Cowbell? Yeah, we lost. The old cowbell is probably still at the old studio, so we had to buy a new one.
Good grief!
This one's louder, though. I will say this one is.
It's very loud.
Yeah, you know what else I have at home?
No, it is in this room.
Oh, is it in there?
It is.
Ringing all this time.
Running out of the room.
All you have to do is get up and ring that bell.
It's right there. Sorry.
Okay.
Great. We can't move now, Leah. You'll ruin everything.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
God, is that is?
I have a ship's captain's bell at home. I brought that into the show one time, and it is so loud. It's unbelievable. It just overpowers the microphones.
Oh, my God. Yeah, anyway. I think when we saw Seth Jones and Marc-Andre Fleury and all the moves the Blackhawks made this summer, like it something that they said on 32 Thoughts was like over the summer was like they said, I don't know what the identity of this team is going to be. And in my head, I thought like they have to be a winning team. I didn't know if they'd be a playoff team, maybe like a wild card team or a bubble team. Didn't expect them to be where they are now. So
I said this in the preview for the season. I didn't see a wilder array of thoughts on any team in the NHL than I saw on the Blackhawks. There were some people that were certain that they were going to be a playoff team, even contending for the division title, which I thought was insane. And then there were people on the other end saying this is going to be an awful team. Well, right now, the people on that end of the spectrum look like they're right, because this pretty much is an awful team. They beat the Coyotes tonight, but they're still near the bottom of the standings. And yet they have a 7-point lead on the Coyotes now. In the race for Shane Wright.
And actually on that note, Craig, you sent in the standings. Let's pull them up right
there.
Here.
It is. Look at that. Blackhawks not even in the picture anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Arizona has quite a lead on the.
Those are the teams that I think are going to be in it, guys. I really think it's these 4 teams right here that are going to be in the race.
It's tank watch.
It's tank watch.
I guess when you do that, Craig, but that's the Arizona Coyotes are on the top. So, I mean, it gives maybe some positive as I get ready for bed tonight that the Coyotes are on top of something.
I'm like, you're ready for bed right now.
I like the idea of flipping the standings that way. So it does look like the Coyotes are winning.
Get Arnold on that one.
I like that. I like that idea that you have going on there.
A lot of line changes tonight too. They jumbled up the players. I think it was mostly to accommodate Galchenyuk's return to the lineup. I don't know if we'll see changes tomorrow. I'd be surprised if we didn't. I don't know if I saw the chemistry throughout this 4-line group from what we've seen previously to this. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made some changes. I guess you'll have to wait and see how everybody feels in the morning. Does Galchenyuk feel good enough tomorrow? Does he go back-to-back games? Does Ladd go back-to-back? I mean, Ladd's a guy that sat out the last back-to-back. We talked about his age, and maybe he doesn't play back-to-back. So wouldn't be surprised if they made changes.
He's tied for second on the team in scoring right now. Maybe they can't afford to
Oh my God. And then it's so funny because when I saw Gostisbehere, he got high sticked, but like you don't really see it in the moment. So I just see him down. I was like, no, not our leading point scorer, Shane Gostisbehere. Oh man. Stressful.
Out of curiosity, did you guys happen to see the Christian Fischer story I posted today?
I did. Because I do
think of that one.
To go phnx.com where everyone can read that story.
Oh, there it is. Go ahead, Leah.
There's the read. You didn't even know you were introducing the PHNX
I did.
read. Well, if you want to read Craig's story on Christian Fischer, you can become a member at gophnx.com. Sign up for the annual membership. You get a shirt with that. There's a lot of great shirts in the PHNX locker. Members, you get deals of the week. Right now, the deal of the week is you can buy any Suns shirt and get another one free. I mean, how many games have the Suns won in a row? 6 or 7? 7 after tonight. They were having a lot of fun in their postgame show. Way more fun than us.
And yet, more Coyotes shirts have still been sold. I'm just saying.
And yet, more Coyotes shirts have been sold by triple, I think, is what they said this week. And
I think they're all in Craig's garage, but that's okay.
Oh my goodness.
You know what, Craig, I'll just tell you this. After you write the article on Christian Fischer and his opportunities that he needs to play to put up more numbers and all the things that he wants to do, of the 18 skaters that played tonight, did you see who had the lowest ice time? Christian Fischer. Yeah. So maybe Andre Tournier read your article and said, okay, let's see what I can do about that. Because it clearly did not help.
I don't get it. I honestly don't get that one. When I analyze it, I don't understand why he's getting less ice time than some of the guys that I mentioned in that story. Some of these guys who don't factor into your future at all. And listen, I don't know what they have planned for Christian Fischer. He's an RFA this offseason. Maybe they're planning on moving on from him. Maybe they're just thinking, hey, we won't have to pay him a lot because we're not giving him opportunities to produce. But I don't get the usage of Christian Fischer in particular. I don't agree with that. I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't agree with the usage for him so far.
Yeah, but we've said that about other positions too. We've said that about the goaltending. We've talked about Chychrun on the power play. Like, I guess that's part of what a show like this provides. It provides you the outlet to say, well, what if or why? Clearly, the coaches have different thoughts. They talk about it a lot longer, and heck, their jobs are on the line for it. So I can't argue with the decisions they make. But when we watch from the outside looking in, you look at a player like Christian Fischer, who by all accounts is a leader inside the room. I'm surprised that he hasn't had more of an opportunity to play. He was on the score sheet early in the season. So I don't know exactly what and why he is not getting a bigger role at times. I mean, even if it doesn't have to be an every game thing, maybe it's not like they're tearing up the league right now and you can't jumble the lines up. It's like they're on a 5-game winning streak. Like, try something. Put Fischer with Keller. Why not? Try something different. So, yeah, I am moderately surprised that we're not seeing a little bit more of a variety in who's playing with who. There hasn't been that chemistry. I know early with Schmaltz, maybe when Schmaltz comes back, they have to readdress it, but he's not close. So, yeah. I would think a guy like Fischer, well, why not give him a try? We're not generating offense any other way, so why not?
Yeah, and when you look at it in years past, you could say, okay, there are guys that you probably want to play ahead of Christian Fischer. But like on the flip side of the coin here, and this is not a personal assessment, it's just looking at what he's given on the ice. I don't understand the fascination with Dmitry Yashkin right now. I don't know what he's giving this team. Other than the fact that they're paying him a lot of money, I don't know what he's giving the team right now.
Yeah, we've talked about him a lot on his lack of production and the expectations coming out of MVP type seasons in the K. He surely hasn't translated that into the NHL this season so far. I mean, he was a healthy scratch tonight. I don't know. I would assume he gets in the lineup tomorrow because they're a back-to-back and you want to get some fresh legs in.
Yeah.
But you're right.
He was out of the lineup tonight, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see him being a big factor. And you're right. He hasn't earned it.
Yeah.
But really, Craig, who has? Like, really? Like, who's lights out offensively for this team that you have to go, oh, I have to get this guy more ice time? Like, really?
Well, at least you look at guys who maybe are impacting it in some way, right? I think you can say that for Lawson Krause by and large. Clayton Keller had a pretty good start. He's a guy that you got to have on the ice on this team. And I think Christian Fischer is one of those guys. I think there's a large group of guys where you're just like, he's just a guy. He's just there. And that's, I mean, again, by design with a lot of these guys. But there are a bunch of guys in this lineup that aren't really making an impact in any way. And yet they're getting more minutes than Christian Fischer.
Yeah. Can you put Harold's comment back up there, Leah? I have to go get my dictionary. Multisyllabic words like this. This is impressive this late at night.
So is that where you're struggling?
The massive perplexity.
One syllable?
The massive perplexity.
Wait, let me put my glasses on.
I know.
Yeah,
Again,
there you are, Harold.
I'm not going to do this every show, Craig. If you can't see, put on your glasses.
No, I have to see for it. Why do I have to see?
Is your wife watching? Like, is it that big a deal?
Do I have to see you? Oh my God!
Good Lord.
Petey, are you going to grow your beard out like Liam O'Brien? Is that what you're planning?
I wish I could. I wish I could. I'm looking really old. Wow. Sorry.
Where'd Craig go?
Oh, it's Clark Kent. That was clever.
That's right.
That was clever. Where did Clark go? These guys are smart. These guys are smart and clever and on top of the ball.
There it is, right there in all caps. Discount Clark Kent.
So you put the glasses on, you're Clark Kent. Can't recognize him. Where did Craig go?
Oh my God.
That's the line of the day. Where'd Craig go? I love it.
Where's Craig? Just like what we were saying the whole first 20 minutes before you got here.
How's the beer? How's the beer?
I don't get any. I was not at the studio.
Oh, you stayed home. That's right. Leah's working and you're when you're
the beer is very good.
In fairness to me, Leah said she was going to do this from home. Like I don't live next door to the studio. I am beer. See, this is even more. I think she might have done it just for the beer. And good on her for that.
Hey, I was the one who ripped open the packages with my hands.
What are you drinking, Leah?
I'm drinking Prickly Pear Wheat Ale. It's delicious.
Okay.
All right. I'm putting you on the spot, Petey. Do you have a DraftKings pick of the week?
Oh, we need one. Hold on, please. Let's get one. Let's get a DraftKings pick of the week. Talk about something for 30 seconds, Leah.
Look at these theatrics. He had this plan.
Shane?
We didn't have a plan.
No,
we didn't. So I got to go to Saturday. Who do we got? There's an easy one. Oh, that might be good.
Put Craig on a milk carton.
How about this? The Battle of Florida tomorrow. Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning.
Where is it?
It's in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored by 1.5 over the Florida Panthers. I'm taking the Florida Panthers plus 1.5 in Tampa.
Ooh.
All right.
And that's your DraftKings pick of the week, the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I am taking the Florida Panthers plus 1.5 in Tampa.
I like it. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. I'm wearing my DraftKings sweater. I am wearing a PHNX shirt under this all day. I was planning to wear it on the show, but this studio is just so
too cold.
Freaking cold. I can't do it. It's too cold. But they provided us with our DraftKings hoodies, so I'm about it.
Craig, thoughts on tomorrow's Nashville Predator tilt? They're getting the night off. They're not, so Nashville's sitting at home waiting. Coyotes are coming in. Won't be there for a couple hours. What do you think?
The winery is excellent.
Wow.
In fact, I have been told by sources that the Coyotes may be going to this winery tomorrow night. At least some of them. I think Carter Hutton will be there. So.
Tomorrow night or on Sunday? Tomorrow night? Postgame?
Tomorrow night. Postgame, maybe.
How far from downtown?
Hopefully they're in a good mood to
win. It's like 5-10 minutes from downtown.
So nothing's very far.
East Nashville, which apparently is the hip new area. There's all kinds of stuff. Crazy story with this place, by the way. They had a tornado blow through like just a few days before COVID hit and like ripped through this street and like took away a bunch of the winery. This will all be in my story, but they're doing okay again. They're coming back. And like I said, it's a really, really cool space. I really liked meeting Carter Hutton's business partner tonight. And that'll be a fun story that's going to be up on the site on Sunday.
Yeah, and you're looking at a team that a lot of our fans are going to recognize the names from the playoffs in the bubble a couple of years ago. Duchesne's back, having a great year. He's got 8 goals already. Roman Yossi's having a great year with 12 points. Ryan Johansson, Philip Forsberg, Michael Granlund. Like, it's a list of names that if you've been around this Coyotes team for a couple of years, you're going to recognize a lot of these guys, and they're all there. Saros has been playing well. He's got a 228 goals against average. It's a good hockey team right now.
I'm surprised by this team. I thought Chicago and Nashville would be switched where they are right now. Nashville's 8-5-1 going into this game tomorrow. I mean, I really thought they would be at the bottom of this division alongside the Coyotes. So, I mean, I know it's still early in the season, but this team's been a surprise for me, but good for them.
Craig, I got it. Okay. Leah, before we go on, I know we're winding down. Did you see Andrew's last comment? Not the very last one.
If he writes a story about a winery,
it's all of a sudden it's a business expense. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, here's
Petey's
another
expose on Tootsies.
That's how this works, Andrew.
Here's another good comment. I like this one. If the Coyotes win by 2 tomorrow, Craig should have a Superman shirt underneath his suit.
I wish Halloween were tomorrow, because I would love to see the glasses come off and the Clark Kent. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
You are never going to see me ripping clothing off those. So I just want to say that right
Seriously?
now. Yeah.
Seriously, Craig?
Nobody wants to see that.
Buddy.
Buddy. That's my favorite thing Petey says. Buddy. Look, Petey's talking Andrew into increasing his bets.
Yeah, that it's going to be 1.5. It's going to be 1.5, and it's going to be hard to stay away from the 1.5 tomorrow.
Well, any other thoughts on tonight's game? I mean, I feel
it's
like
one I thought they'd win. We had it circled on the calendar, and I thought this was a winnable game. And you know what? They played like it. It was winnable.
Yep.
Right?
My thought is we're one closer to 82.
I like your attitude. I like that.
Yeah, you haven't seen
you know what?
Wait till we get the All-Star break.
Talking about the tank, Buffalo beat Edmonton tonight.
Yeah, I saw that, right? Look at
crazy.
That. There are not many teams close to the Coyotes anymore, guys. So we've talked about this, Petey. Like you get that 10-point spread, you're not coming back against a team that has a 10-point lead on you. So
yeah, that's a lot of points. I mean, you got to think of that. You get a 10-point lead on the Coyotes. That's 5 games. That's a lot. That's a big hill to climb at 10 points, and we're almost to American Thanksgiving, and that's usually a point where you start looking at where teams are slotted for playoff positions. Obviously, that's never been a reality for the Coyotes, but again, the tank season is in full effect. They're doing exactly what they wanted to do, and there's no one close right now.
And if you're having a hard time watching the Coyotes, just go ahead and just keep an eye on the OHL. See what Shane Wright is up to there. If you just want to.
And how about Gunther?
Yeah, Gunther has been on fire up in Edmonton. So we've been trying to keep it light on the PHNX Coyotes Twitter account, retweeting the WHL all this week to see some goals. We just have to remember that the future is bright, and here is we're just paying our dues now.
Here is the opposite. We'll say
here is the darkness.
Should I turn off my light right now?
Yes, turn it off. We can just see your weird microwave behind you.
So what do we have tomorrow, Craig? Are you going to be there the whole show, part of the show? I guess you got to go to the game again?
Yeah, I kind of got to cover the game, Petey. So, some of us won't be in the home studio. Some of us will be, in another city.
I will be back. I will be back in studio tomorrow. Can we tell them what else is happening, Leah?
Well,
can we tell them, Leah?
What do you have planned?
So I will not be here tomorrow. Actually, Aaron Aaron will be back from Minnesota. It was a quick trip to Minnesota for her. She will be hosting the show with Petey tomorrow. I will not be here tomorrow because I have had concert tickets for 2 years because the pandemic moved the show, and the show is Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
What did you say, Petey?
I said ABBA. I was just taking a stab.
I would love to see an ABBA show.
Harry Styles. Would you buy the tickets when you were 16? Like Harry Styles, really?
Wow.
Listen, he's a heartthrob. And did you see the
He's
picture
a
of him?
heartthrob. Did you just say that? Oh
Yeah.
boy.
On the cover of the latest issue of Tiger Beat.
Tiger Beat. That's right. Yeah.
Did you guys see the picture of Harry Styles golfing with the Carolina Hurricanes players?
Don't miss that one.
I was not in my Twitter feed. Sorry.
Come on.
Seriously, Leah? We're going to see Harry Styles? That's what we're doing. We're missing a show for Harry Styles.
It's at Gila River Arena, so it's like I'm there.
The solo sensation from One Direction.
Right.
Well, if the Coyotes win tomorrow, just thank everyone can thank me that I didn't watch the game somehow. I feel like that. Oh, look. Karen saw the tweet. Thank you, Karen. I feel validated. It was a big thing on Twitter.
You will be missed, Leah.
Yes. So Petey and Aaron will be back tomorrow night for the post-game show after the Nashville game. I will be back next week on Tuesday for that post-game show. We'll discuss our schedule for the following week, but we will see if the Coyotes can pull out a win on this Central Division swing.
Or we'll just talk hockey. That's
or
fine.
we'll just, more pack therapy. I think we're used to it at this point.
I'm just thrilled people keep coming back. Like that there's people here listening to us. I'm seriously stunned.
Yes, thank you all of you.
Karen caught the Tiger Beat. Leah doesn't even know what Tiger Beat is.
Yes, I do. I used to read it.
Yeah, look at Karen saying we're dating ourselves. Like that's a shock to anyone.
As she digs out the cardboard box from underneath her bed, Karen.
Oh my God.
Leaf Garrett.
J14, Tiger Beat. That was my jam. Zachary says if the Yotes lose, we blame Harry Styles.
Exactly.
Fair enough, Zachary. All right. Well, on that note, I think we should wrap it up. We should all go to bed. We all have big days ahead of us tomorrow. Different reasons, though. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Craig S. Morgan, at S. Peters Hockey, at Leah Merrill, and of course at PHNX_Coyotes. And follow PHNX Sports across all social media platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of it. Lots of great content on there. So Nicholas said, y'all three are making this season enjoyable. Thank you so much, Nicholas. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cheers to everyone. And have a good night. We'll get through this together.
I hope you like my green screen. I'm actually at Tootsie's.